been almost a year since my last visit to Taiwan. For over 9 months, I brought a camera with me everywhere as I roamed around Taipei, trying my hand at street photography, and somehow, over time, compiling a nice collection of photos, giving a detailed insight into the aesthetics of life, mostly on the outskirts of Taipei City. I'd thought of printing a book with the photos. They look really amazing when printed out large. Instagram and Facebook don't do them the slightest bit of justice, and I think most photographers will sympathise with the pain of that being the way that most people will see our photos. When I looked at the costs involved in printing fewer than 100 book copies, however, I changed my mind. But instead of giving up and leaving this collection to sit in the dark corners of my hard drives, I decided to start printing them myself. I came across these nice quality photo albums and began the long process of cutting everything to size, fixing double-sided tape to each photo, and sorting out the viewing order in what would become a 2-volume collection of nearly 380 photos, carefully selected to balance the quality, along with a fully scoped out representation of the subject matter. In a world of mass-produced things, it is nice to behold something that is made unique by our own hands. These albums will outlive me. The places in the photos will change. The pages will yellow. And this video will document its creation. I wonder which will outlast the other, the digital video and photos, or the physical albums. These photos were not easily gotten. The heat and humidity were a factor. Carrying around a heavy camera, and sometimes 2 or more lenses in a pack, can get tiring after a while. I began the trip shooting mostly on the 85mm f1.4, which gives some beautiful images, but it's a beefy lens. I then switched to the 70-300 for a change of style. It allowed me to scope in and compose any little scenes which I encountered. I enjoyed this a lot, and the flexibility of a zoom lens was liberating after the limitations of the prime. However, the heavy lenses were beginning to take their toll on my shoulders and neck, and the days were getting hotter with the summer beginning to roll in. I came across a nice little second-hand 35mm Zeiss lens. It's the smallest lens that will fit on my Sony full frame, and carrying it around was a breeze compared to the heavier lenses. Composing scenes at 35mm is very different from 85mm. It is definitely more of a challenge, and made 85mm seem like easy mode. Traditionally, it is the go-to focal length for street photography, so I was curious to see what I could do with it, and willing to put up with the dissatisfaction of the learning curve and mostly mediocre images. In the end, I think it really fleshed out the collection, and I got some photos with that lens that I really love.